We are here at Commercial UAV Expo 2019. I'm over at the Kittyhawk booth with Mr. Josh Ziering. Josh, how are you?
I'm great, Jeremiah. How are you?
Very well. So you were on the visionary session today. Can you talk a little bit about some of the topics that came up and you got into a discussion with your fellow panelists?
You know, one of the interesting things is people are trying to figure out, is now the right time that I want to undertake an advanced operation in my company? And for them and for us, it's really about, is there a demonstrable ROI on this? And how do we figure that out? One of the things Kittyhawk has been working on, especially in the commercial drone industry, is how can we prove the ROI of what we're working on? So on our website, we have a couple of great case studies with Travelers Insurance and Shell Oil about how they're measuring the impact of their drone program.
And two of the biggest things that come up in this space are regulation and ROI. And I wonder, what kind of conversations do you have when people are focused on regulation? Do you shift that over to, hey, guess what? There's a lot you can do right now, and that's delivering a real bottom line value.
Yeah, I always bring it back into ROI and away from complaining about regulation, because there's plenty of great business use cases today that you can execute with just Part 107 and no additional waivers. Whether it's taking the place of scaffolding for inspection or being able to inspect things more efficiently, there's plenty of different options that can bring a positive ROI into your organization today. And particularly when you have a unified operations platform like Kittyhawk to manage it, it makes it much easier to get that ROI and to quantify it for business executives and leaders.
And speaking as a drone visionary, what has it meant to kind of cut through some of the hype? I know you mentioned up there the Gartner hype cycle. How is it to cut through all that and not, we're focused on the bottom line, not the potential value in 10 years or the billions of dollars? Like, what does that look like for you?
For Kittyhawk, it's always been about building from the bottom up. And that's really been a great thing for us, because instead of having to build all of these things and hope that they will come or understand that this industry could be this thing, we're finding what customers need now. We're building great solutions for that. And we're making sure that as the next thing is coming down the line, we're able to see what the needs are going to be and deliver a solution that's going to address them as it's ready.
And remote ID obviously came up during your session. Can you give a little brief overview of kind of what you discussed there and maybe what you're looking forward to see come together with remote ID either in the next few months or in 2020?
I'm super excited about remote ID. It's something we've been working on for the last year or so here with the ASTM standard and the Inter-USS platform, but it's something we've been working on at Kittyhawk for years now. We've had essentially what is private remote ID, so that companies are able to see where their teams are deploying, what they're doing, and who's operating. And that's really made a big difference when they're able to say, hey, those are all of our drones flying there. Uh-oh, who's that fourth drone? What are they doing? So we've had a smaller version of remote ID because we didn't need a bigger version of remote ID. Now that we know that's coming down the pipe, we're working with the Inter-USS platform, as well as submitting to the FAA RFI to be included as part of the initial cadre of companies that are going to be implementing the remote ID for the public at scale.
And that cadre of companies, I think, is something really important to focus on, because in some ways, you guys, in direct ways, you guys are working with your competitors, and that it's not really a dogfight, but a collective ecosystem that you're developing, and that seems very essential for this technology to come together in a way that's going to make sense.
Like the rest of aerospace, everybody is simultaneously competing and working with each other, and it's critical that that's the case. We see our customers asking for remote ID, and the only way they're able to derive value from that system is if everybody else is playing as well. So without everyone, there's no one.
Anything you're looking forward to seeing come together beyond remote ID, either in the short term or the long term? What's something coming up that you're really focused on?
Well, I think in 2018, 2019, we saw the cost basis of a drone come down to the point where organizations were willing to equip everybody with a drone. It wasn't just, hey, these certain select people get to have a drone. It's let's equip all of the insurance professionals with a drone. And I think what we're going to see now is the unification of all of that data into a really, really nice enterprise workflow. That's what we're working on. It's all about what air control is, our new product that we're announcing in 2020, and we're making sure that this is how enterprises are going to be able to get data from one side of the pipe all the way to decision quality data at the other side of the pipe.
What's the best way to learn a little bit more about what Kittyhawk's doing, some of the new product that you just talked about, or somebody that's taken a look at what you're doing and thinks it might be a fit for them? What's my best next step, or first step even?
First step, well, I like to say that LinkedIn's my favorite social network because it makes you look like you're busy when you're at work just messing around. So definitely follow us on LinkedIn. We have a lot of stuff there. Follow us on Twitter at KittyhawkIO, and follow me if you're really in for a good time. At Joshua Ziering. I have strong opinions, loosely held on the drone industry, and I'm always happy to share them.
Definitely follow Josh on Twitter. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Jeremiah.